Welcome, everyone, to the Dragon's Cove Podcast, where we will be talking about everything and anything Call of Duty related. In this episode of this podcast, we'll be talking about Black Ops 6, the new addition to the Call of Duty franchise, which I am super excited to get right into. But real quick, let me talk about myself. For anybody who is new to my channel or anybody who does not know about me, I am Dragon Spike, or you guys can call me Spike. I could care less. But I have been playing Call of Duty for almost 20 years. I have played almost every Call of Duty game, and some more than others. For the longest time, I was addicted to Black Ops 2. I was and then when Cold War came out, I became addicted to that. And now Black Ops 6 is out here in 2024 to 2025. So I am super excited to get right into it. First things first, let's talk about the campaign. The campaign, I have not finished yet. It is a decently good campaign. Probably one of the best campaigns I have played in a very long time. But there is one particular thing. Now, I do want to keep in mind, that we will be talking a lot about zombies in this podcast. Because this podcast has a lot, or this zombies has a lot to discover in this game, so I'm excited to get to it. But I do want to point out one particular mission in the campaign where it is directly about zombies. It is probably the best zombies Easter egg in a campaign I have ever played. And knowing with Black Ops, they always like to kind of put in some zombies in a campaign. And BO3, before Black Ops 6, BO3 is probably the one with the most zombies in a campaign, because there was that one mission where you're kind of holding off and then having to kill someone and stuff like that, holding off a bunch of zombies and blah, 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 whatever. It was a crazy, crazy-ass mission, but this one takes the cake with zombies. There was basically, to kind of put it in detail, basically you're stuck in this one thing. There's a biohazard area. It's like a lab and whatever, and there was a biohazard that went wrong, and your character is kind of hallucinating because because your mask broke and you got inhaled with this biohazard thing, and basically you're going through this trying to escape, but you need to find 4 keys and whatever. There are 4 different areas of this lab, and each area contains a certain zombie type from Cold War, which I am super happy about. Now, before I go into it, 2 of these elites are not in the actual zombies game mode on this game yet. Give it time. There's only a couple maps out right now, but I literally went up against the Abomination, the Mangler, the Mimic, and the Disciple. So far, the Mimic and the Disciples are not in the actual zombies game mode, which is very surprising. But I am happy that they did bring them back for the campaign. But this campaign has been all over the place. Now, like I said, I haven't finished it yet, and I will once this podcast is released. But people were saying how Mason's death back in Cold War, I think, was not canon at all. So I am very shocked at that. But no, I think it was BO2 of Mason's death, I think. Yeah. I don't know. BO2 or Cold War, I can't remember. But Mason so far has not showed up, and I just finished the zombies mission. So, but there is a lot to uncover in that. So let's hop into multiplayer. And I do want to keep in mind that I will be saying a lot of my opinions about this game and stuff like that, and kind of call out some people. Okay, that's what I do best. I love it. But let's get into multiplayer real quick. Multiplayer has been fun, sweaty, but it has just been absolutely crazy. I love the map designs. The map designs are beautiful. And this is the one thing, I will say this first, that a lot of people really think that this is like Cold War 2.0. Now, technically, it's a sequel to Cold War, but the feel of the game and the looks of the game, the maps, feel more like MW3 than anything else. The only thing that people say that is like Cold War is the health bars. And maybe part of the HUD. But even then, the HUD more looks like MW3 than anything. There's really nothing else comparing it to Cold War other than that, like the health bars, which even in MW3 had health bars. So I don't see the Cold War resemblance. I think it's more MW3. But getting back to that, so the game itself, like the maps for multiplayer, are absolutely fun. They introduced a new Omni movement, which, for those of you guys who don't know, is basically like a 360 movement where instead of sliding or diving forward, you can slide and dive front to back, side to side, diagonally. Like, you're all over the place with all this movement, which has been absolutely awesome. I don't care what anybody says. This movement is a game changer, in my opinion. And the one thing I do want to say is that so many people are stuck in the BO2 and BO3 mindsets. And it is said, you know what? We got to move on. That's what we have to do. We got to move on from that. We got to, accept the future of COD. And the future of COD is not bad. I will say this. The one game that I have actually despised and regret buying is Vanguard. Vanguard is literally the worst COD ever. And anybody who likes Vanguard is not true COD players. I'm just going to plain out say that. I've met a few of them. They're not true COD players if they actually like Vanguard. And it's just unplayable, just terrible altogether. But there was, with Black Ops 6, the maps are just beautifully well done, even with Liberty Falls. Now, the two maps with zombies is Liberty Falls and Terminus. Now, these maps are just beautifully well done. It is just like both, like the Easter eggs are very well thought out. Now, I know Liberty Falls has a short Easter egg, but just even some of the side Easter eggs for them are just incredibly amazing. But getting back, there is one thing I am super excited for, that we are getting ranked play in Season 1. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, we've been getting ranked play in Season 2, like middle of Season 2. So it was like February by the time we got ranked play, or whatever. So that is a big game changer, and I'm super excited for that. Another thing that has been kind of causing a lot of controversy in the community is the Black Ops 6 being on Game Pass. Now, the Xbox Game Pass is also a big game changer. And I literally got so excited when I first heard about this as an Xbox player myself. It has been an absolute game changer. Okay, now everyone else who is not on Xbox, their excuse is, oh, well, you're paying more because you're paying a monthly fee on it. But let me tell you this, you are also paying a monthly fee on hundreds and hundreds of other games in the Game Pass. So you're not just paying for Call of Duty. And think about it like this. 10 years from now, you will only be paying $15 a month for like 10 more Call of Duties. Think about that. $15 a month will be worth it. Okay? And the thing is with me, I've had Game Pass long before Call of Duty even announced it, so it doesn't affect me at all. So I am very, very, very happy for that. But let's get in to the big stuff. Let's get into Call of Duty Zombies. Now, Black Ops 6 Zombies has been getting a lot of hate from certain people within the community, which I'm very, very surprised about. People are hating on Liberty Falls because they say it's more for casual game and whatnot. People are, even some people are hating on Terminus for some reason, which is the exact thing that people were wanting. People wanted a dark, round-based map, and that is exactly Terminus. But people want to kind of complain about it. I've heard some complaints about, why are there boats in Call of Duty? Well, I mean, you're on an island. You kind of need a boat. It would have made probably Zetsubo no Shima a lot better back in BO3. It definitely would have made that map a lot better if there was boats, because that was basically on an island and whatnot. Could have made Mob of the Dead or even Blood of the Dead a lot better if they added both. You can explore a little bit outside of the island a little bit more. See, if a lot of these features, if they were introduced in BO2 and BO3, people would not be complaining as much. But because they were introduced in this new era of Call of Duty, people are going to complain. And people don't have actual valid reasons to actually complain about a damn game. I'm just going to completely say that. And then this is the one thing I am happy that they did introduce in the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is that you can literally change the entirety of the HUD, which I'm so happy about. Now, I don't do any changes yet. I've been liking the default HUD layout, but to the people who are literally complaining about it is absolutely crazy. You can literally make so many changes to it to kind of make your experience more classic-like, I guess, the way you guys like it. Now, 2 maps at launch. Now, this is crazy that we get 2 maps at launch, Terminus and Liberty Falls. Now, there is reports saying that there will be a 3rd map by the end of 2024, so that would be amazing. So 3 maps by the end of 2024. If that's the case, I really hope, because, we still got a full year after that. We still got to at least next November or whatever. So I'm hoping that we get a lot more maps as well. I hope there's not really a big gap of where we get really barely to no content. So I'm hoping that they are prepared for that. And so there is also a new feature in Zombies, which I am also kind of happy about, but I don't know how much I'm going to be using this feature. There is an option where you can save and quit your Zombies game, which, if you don't understand it, it basically means where you're, and this, as far as I know, this only works with solo players. As far as I know, the thing is, so you can literally save your progress in the middle of a Zombies game, and then come back at a later time, continue on with your progress. Now, also, for my understanding, you can only save and quit once per game. So only once per game, but you can save and quit. It'll be useful for high rounds. It'll be useful, if you gotta go somewhere else or go out to dinner or whatever. So that's very good. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with that. Now, there are some things to kind of go over. Some new features that they are adding. And I wouldn't really say new features. They're kind of features that are kind of updated and changed a little bit. So they did bring back the upgrading system for your perks, your ammo mods, and all that fun stuff. Now, instead of just your regular permanent perks, they changed it to where it's called augments. Now, augments basically is when you're using, let's say, Jug, let's say you're going in with Jug, or you use Jug in a game, you will, the longer you use it, from my understanding, the longer you use it, the longer like you will be able to like have a chance of upgrading it and unlocking different upgrades for it. For example, with augments, before you can like they have 6 each perk and each ammo mod has 6 different like upgrades for them, and the only thing is that you can only have 2 upgrades at a time for each perk and each ammo mod, which is probably the kind of the suckiest thing of it all. Instead of having all the upgrades that you unlock, you only get to have 2. So 1 minor augment and 1 major augment is all you're allowed per update or per upgrade. So, which kind of sucks. That's the only thing I'm really kind of not liking about the upgrade system. I am happy they did bring back an upgrade system. Kind of gives you something to kind of work for within zombies. Another feature that they added, which I hope they change it in the future. I'm not a big fan of this either. That they added a pause menu timer. Okay, they added a pause menu timer, which kind of sucks. The thing is, this pause menu timer, you're only allowed 15 minutes to pause your game per game, which, like I said, it kind of sucks. Because, like, what if now I get with the new save and quit option, there's a reason, but like, what if you just want to pause the game real quick? You'll be back in like 20-30 minutes. Okay, the game ain't gonna crash out on you, but with this pause timer, it will. I kind of wish, and here's the thing with, like, let's say you're trying to do an Easter egg, and you need to pause your or you need to pause real quick to kind of figure out certain steps, and it goes over that 15-minute timer, especially with how difficult some Easter eggs could be. It's kind of, I don't know, I kind of think it's kind of worthless, to be honest. But that's pretty good. Also, I do want to go back and talk about the new emblems for Call of Duty Black Ops 6. These emblems look amazing. They look crisp. I have a video of it, of the perks, on my TikTok. And it got, a lot of people were saying how fake it was, how how it looked like AI, blah, 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 whatever. They're real. For the record, they are real. They are from credible sources, and I even doubled and triple checked it when the game came out. So they are definitely real. And these emblems are based off of previous Black Ops games, which is amazing. I am liking the fact that they're little Easter eggs within with every Black Ops game in Black Ops 6. I think that's a phenomenal thing to kind of look back in the past of the games. So we got some, World at War games or emblems. We got Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4. I think Cold War. I think there's probably an emblem or two from Cold War. But definitely a lot of good emblems on that. Now let's move on to the new, or should I say reused, wonder weapons in Black Ops 6. Now, I see, the thing is with wonder weapons is that a lot of them are overused, in my opinion. So they brought back the Der Wunderwaffe, which is literally it's called the DRI-11 Beam Smasher. That's the name of this Der Wunderwaffe. It's a cool ass name, and I have not been able to play with it yet. But from what I see, it does look cool. But I think it has been overused, in my opinion. They did bring back the jet gun, which is called the Thrustodyne M23. So there's different names for all this. So they brought back the Jack gun from Black Ops 2, which I did get a chance to play with it. And I think it's definitely a lot better, and it doesn't break like in Black Ops 2. It breaks, and you got to rebuild it. So I am happy about that. But also, they did bring back the ray gun. The ray gun is back. I am super excited for it. The ray gun is back. Now, I mean, I'm not really all that excited about it because the ray gun's like in every Black Ops game. But yeah, the ray gun is back. That is a classic in Black Ops, in the Black Ops series. And also with the Wonder Weapons, you can unlock specialty camo for these Wonder Weapons. So as you are completing Easter eggs or objectives or whatever, you can unlock these camos, which I think is a good and cool idea for it. Which is amazing. Now, I will say this. For the future of Call of Duty, or for the future of Black Ops 6, I want newer Wonder Weapons. And this is what people don't understand about Cold War. Cold War was a perfect example of what a Call of Duty should be, in my opinion. At least in some aspects, okay? So there were multiple maps in Black Ops 6, and each map had a specific special Wonder Weapon. For example, we got the Die Machine with the Machina with the Die Shockwave Wonder Weapon. Then we got Firebase D with the Ray K. And then we got Maurer Toten with the Cerberus. And then we got the Forsaken with the Crystal Axe. Okay. Each round-based map had a specific Wonder Weapon. That's what needs to come back. That's what they need to do. They need to absolutely do this. And I will say this. The best Wonder Weapon of all time is the Crystal Axe from the Forsaken in Cold War. That's all I gotta say. That is the best Wonder Weapon of all time. Nothing can beat that. I am sorry to any of you crybabies that wants to keep having the BO2 and BO3 mindset. That is the best Wonder Weapon of all time. Nothing beats it, okay? But let's move on to these new enemy types and enemy elites in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. So, we got the Mangler, the Abomination, Spiders, and Fat Zombies. You are absolutely right. I did say Fat Zombies. Fat Zombies, man. Okay, so think about it this way. Take a regular zombie and make it fat. That's exactly what we got. It is amazing. It is funny. Anybody who complains about it just needs to get a life, because you can't just complain about Fat Zombie and say you're not going to play a game because of it. They also brought back, instead of dogs, so a classic with Black Ops games is your classic Hellhounds. Instead of that, they're spiders. And don't worry if any of you guys are a little scared of spiders. There is a setting that you can change. It's an arachnophobia setting that will change it to worms. And I think the worms are a little bit more scarier. But it's basically, and from what I've seen from the worms, the worms is basically the spider without no legs. It's literally what it is. Same face, same everything. Now, and I didn't add the Mimic or the Disciples just yet into that list, only because we only saw them in the campaign. Now, that them being in the campaign could symbolize them coming into future zombie maps. I don't know. That would be nice to see that. I would also love to see some other different enemy types. Now, literally, I've seen Liberty Falls doesn't have a boss fight. You're just killing a bunch of zombies, filling up some kind of soul box or whatever. But Terminus boss fights with that big ass enemy is kind of crazy, to be honest. It is like some kind of Kraken thing, which is absolutely crazy. Okay. Time to get into some other stuff. So now these next things I'm going to talk about are the ones with the augmented upgrades. So we got perks, ammo mods, and field upgrades. So let's go through the perks real quick. So first, we got a regular jug, stamina up, speed cola, deadshot, elemental pop, PhD flopper, and then quick revive. Now there's a new perk called Melee Macchiato. Now, for any of you guys have not tried this new perk or don't know what this new perk is, think about it this way. If you play BO2 Origins, part of the Easter egg is to get Thunder Fist. And basically, what they did was take that Easter egg step of getting the Thunder Fist from Origins and turning it into a perk. So, without these steps of an Easter egg, they turned it into a perk. And I think that is amazing. Now, I'm not a melee person at all. I mean, I do melee. I think melee in this game is a little different. You're not knifing. You're really just punching with your gun. It's a little bit different. So I'm not a terribly big fan of that per se. But get that Melee Macchiato, and you may change your opinion on that. Also, another thing. Now, I did take a look at this. I had to make sure. And I'll be the first one to say this. I'm not a big fan of PhD Flopper. I think PhD Slider from Cold War is more tactical with zombies than PhD Flopper. Now, I say that, but I did look at the augmented upgrades for PhD Flopper, and there is an option to upgrade it to being able to get PhD Slider as well. So I am super happy at that. That will be the first thing I'm going to try and unlock and try to upgrade and get on my PhD Flopper, because I'll be very, very happy about that. Now, ammo mods, another augment upgrade. We got our original Cryo Freeze, Brain Rot, Dead Wire, and Napalm Burst. And then there's a new one. This one I have not tried yet, but this one seems kind of cool. It's called Shadow Rift. Basically, while this is upgraded, or while this is activated, you have a chance of one of your bullets turning into a black hole. So think about the whatever you want to call it, the certain grenade things from BO3 or like the Gersh devices, I think, from like BO3, or like the whatever you want to call them from the Cold War. That's basically what that is. And then next we got field upgrades, which basically we got Energy Mine, Frenzy Guard, Dark Flare, which I actually have no idea what that is, but I'm guessing it's kind of similar to Ring of Fire in a sense. And then we got Healing, Aurora, and then Ether Shroud. I can't wait to unlock my Ether Shroud. I played with Ether Shroud all the time in Cold War. I think it's probably the best field upgrade in my opinion, especially when you're playing solo. Now, maybe not so much if you're playing. Well, actually, it kind of does. It kind of helps because you can Ether Shroud into being able to revive your players or get out of close corners and stuff like that. It is probably the best thing. Now, there's a lot. There's a lot with zombies. I am super excited for the future. There is a lot. I am hoping that we get some new good maps coming in the future. The first two maps were definitely not a disappointment. I am super happy about that. I hope that everyone can give a chance being able to give this game a shot. I know a lot of people are complaining about this game and just whatnot. It is absolutely crazy on the amount of complaints. Like I said, people need to get out of that BO2 and BO3 mindset and whatnot. It's a disappointment. It really is. But I am happy. I am very, very happy that we finally got a new, refreshing game. And I have always said this. What I look for in a Call of Duty game is I need new content, new maps, new guns, new mechanics, and I want the game to feel good. And I think Black Ops 6 is a perfect and prime example of what that is. Okay, I do not, and this is the problem I have with a lot of Call of Duty players. So many people are wanting transit back. So many people are wanting these older maps back. I say no. Screw that. We don't need any of these older maps back. Okay? If you want these older maps back, go play those older games. That's all I gotta say. We don't need any of it. Okay? We need new stuff. And people want to complain about how this game is basically the same each year. It's the same if we keep reusing every single map in existence. Yeah, then it will be the same. But if we add new content, new maps, new everything, then it won't be the same every year. Okay? So these people who are whining and complaining about how these games, or how they want, like, all these games back, no. Go play those older games. We don't want that here. Okay? Any person with a brain does not want that here. But I am looking forward to the future of Call of Duty Black Ops 6. There's a lot to uncover. I have been Dragon Spike, and I appreciate all the love and support. Check out this podcast. It'll be on YouTube, along with eventually on Apple Music and Spotify. So I am excited for that. Definitely check that out. Check out my channel, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. Check out all of that on my website. Also, I got some new merch out as well, so definitely check that out too. I appreciate all of the support, and peace out.